Hello and welcome to the Seth Joyner Show presented by Bankroll. Congratulations, Philadelphia. Your Eagles are Glendale, Arizona bound for Super Bowl 57, and the excitement is palpable. After posting a 14-3 season, the Eagles have run through the division and the NFC Title rounds in dominant fashions. First, the New York Giants, 38-7. Then, the second seed San Francisco 49ers, 31-7 to earn a trip to Glendale for Super Bowl 57. It's time for my Bankroll breakdown. Before I get started, let me preface this with the old adage, you play who's on your schedule and you play the hand is dealt to you. That being said, the Niners were thought to be the toughest team the Birds would face all season. The sixth best offense and the number one ranked defense in the National Football League. It's unfortunate anytime a player gets hurt. But let's be honest, if the Eagles were decimated by these same type of injuries, would anybody feel sorry for us? Absolutely not. The Niners won the toss and deferred like the Giants did last week, only to watch the Birds march 11 plays, 66 yards right down the field and score on a 5-yard Miles Sanders waltz into the end zone for a 7-0 lead. Like last week, it was pretty much over. Although the 49ers drew close in a tie, 7-7, the wheels began to fall off. Hassan Reddick ended any hopes that the Niners had with a big sack, forced fumble, which Linval Joseph recovered. And on the play, 49ers rookie quarterback Brock Purdy injured his throwing elbow, and the clock struck midnight on the rookie's Cinderella story. Insert journeyman Josh Johnson, and shortly after halftime, Ndamukong Suh would send Johnson to the blue tent and into concussion protocol, ending his day. Brock Purdy returned to hand the ball off the rest of the day and threw a couple of soft toss screens to Christian McCaffrey. The Eagles defense completely dismantled this 49ers offense, and with it, any possibility of winning the conference title. They could only manage 164 yards of total offense while giving up 3 sacks and 3 lost fumbles. Hassan Reddick, in my opinion, is on a mission. With the entire football world tuned in, he made known his displeasure at being omitted as a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year, with the predicted Player of the Year, Nick Bosa, across the field on the other sideline. The last 2 weeks, he's played like a man possessed. On the other side of the ball, this vaunted number one ranked San Francisco defense was supposed to come in here and dominate the game. This was the number 2 ranked defense in the National Football League versus the run, yielding just 79 yards per game. I believe the pass defense of the Niners, ranked 19th, yielding 222 yards per game, was where the Eagles would attack early. But after the opening drive, the Eagles' offense went stagnant with a 3-and-out, a 4-and-out, and another 3-and-out. This is where I give Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni a lot of credit, because in the past, they've remained stubborn and wouldn't adjust to change. Realizing that Jalen Hurts was just a little bit off and that the offense needed a jump start, they went to the run game. And although they only managed 3.8 yards per carry on the day, they shattered this belief that you couldn't run on this vaunted San Francisco defense. On the day, the Birds ran the ball 44 times for 148 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Consider also this myth that you can't win in the National Football League without a prolific passing game. The Eagles' offense is dominated by running the football 88 times for 416 yards and 7 rushing touchdowns over the last 2 playoff games. Also dominating the time of possession, 35 minutes against the Giants and 37 minutes against the San Francisco 49ers. The one thing we know is that this offense can beat you by throwing it, by running it, or by a combination of the two. Listen, the prognosticators and gurus and know-it-alls are trying to make a big deal about Jalen Hurts only passing the last 2 games for 154 and 122 yards. I get it, but if your objective is to win the championship, does it really matter how you get it done as long as you get it done? There's no doubt in my mind, if Hurts needed to pass to win, they would have got it done. But as long as the offensive line and the defensive line continue to dominate the line of scrimmage, complementing each other as they go, this passing narrative, as you can see, is being flipped on its proverbial head. Coming up next, Hall of Fame coach Dick Vermeil is here to talk about what some of these players and coaches will experience leading up to the big game. Bankroll at 19th and Chestnut, Center City, Philadelphia, redefines the sports bar experience for the modern invested fan.
Bridgeview Partners strategic IT consulting and services, saving clients money and time by optimizing enterprise systems for over 10 years now. If you're an IT professional, what are you waiting for? Contact the very experienced team at Bridgeview Partners. These guys have an awesome reputation in the Philadelphia market for their thought leadership, specializing in infrastructure optimization and IT service management for healthcare, retail, finance organizations, and many others. Go to bridgeviewpartners.com to learn more, and go Eagles!
This car is a steal. Hey, Seth, let's do a deal and I'll throw in a gift.
Is that the way you used to buy a car? Forget about it. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Davis Honda has over 300 pre-owned vehicles right now. Come see why Davis Honda won Best of Burlington 6 years in a row.
I'm Seth Joyner, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Seth, Caitlin, you forgot your great gift.
Birds fans, if you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and reliable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference and work harder for you. With financial centers strategically located to serve the greater Philadelphia area, we are ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Visit midpennbank.com or call the number on your screen. Mid-Penn Bank, the right bank for you. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
Former Eagles linebacker Seth Joyner here to tell you about Artie Clear Kitchens, Baths, Drywall, and Roofing. For kitchens and bathrooms, roofing, windows, and other home improvement needs, call my friend Artie Clear. Get 100% no money down financing with payments as low as $59 per month. The first 59 calls will also receive a $400 discount on their first order. And if you're a senior citizen, double. Look for Artie's ad in the Metro. Call today, Artie Clear Kitchens, Baths, Drywall, and Roofing. For over 20 years now, strategic sports marketing has been a leader in the sports industry. With deep relationship among athletes and companies of all sizes, SSM knows what it takes to build effective partnerships. They've been helping me for 15 years now. From speaking engagements and endorsement deals to special guest appearances and much more, no budget is considered too small. And check out SSM's sister company at sportsvaultshop.com, where you'll find everything for your gift-giving needs. Keep an eye out for upcoming coupon codes exclusive to the Seth Joyner Show. Joining me now is Super Bowl champion and Hall of Fame head coach, Philadelphia's favorite coach, Dick Vermeil. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Seth. But you're looking great.
Well, thank you, man. I try. So, Coach, this season started, with low expectations. What do you think of the job that head coach Nick Sirianni has done with this team, and more importantly, what he and Shane Steichen has done in accomplishing the development of Jalen Hurts?
Well, it really didn't go beyond my expectation. And my own evaluating their numbers the second half of the season last year and what they did in the movement into a combined balanced offense, I thought they would be extremely competitive. And I didn't think their good players would really decline. And I also felt some of the players that were on a declining phase of their career, when they recognize they're going to be good and have a chance for big things to happen, sometimes they find some energy they hadn't been using in the past. And I think that happened to the team. And my computer, based on the last half of the season last year, and after 6 games this year, had them going 16-1, okay?
Wow.
Now, they didn't have the scores all correct, but they had who they were going to beat correct and made the mistakes, of course, the 2 games that Jalen didn't start.
How did the coaches manage the game plan and logistics, leading players that have never been in this uncharted territory, as far as your preparation leading up to the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Well, Seth, you won't have any problem motivating anybody. Your time is getting the game plan put together properly and efficiently, and the big thing is don't try to overdo it. Really take advantage of what you've done to get there. Maybe add some wrinkles that match what you have to do to beat Kansas City because you haven't played them this year, those kinds of things. But you've got to be very careful of over-preparing for it because you have more time. And, when I went in 1980, I had developed a relationship with Chuck Noll, okay? He'd been there 4 times already at that time period. And I'd coached against him when I knew him, and we were friends. And I called him. I said, Chuck, what should I do? He says, number one, do what you've been doing to get there. Number 2, don't overload your game plan. Number 3, have your game plan totally finished the week you're home before you go to on-site game site. Have those things done. He said, don't worry about the mental side as much. He says, just because the kids will be ready to play. Right. The big thing, he said, you go there and play like you've been there before. And that's how you approach it all the time. Our approach didn't work. We didn't play well. I didn't coach well. Okay, we didn't get it done. And the next time we went, we did it better. You know something, Seth? We didn't have a bye week that year with the Rams. I didn't have time to screw them up. I was on an airplane at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, okay, heading for Atlanta. In Philadelphia, we had 2 weeks. And
wow.
So I would rather have the 2-week period, but I recognize I personally made some mistake in my leadership approach, running my own offense and that kind of stuff. But I think Nick has an advantage in that he's taking a team on paper that is a better team. I've said all along, on paper, they're the best team in football. Mm-hmm. But those numbers don't mean anything game day.
Not at all, Coach.
Get there.
Not at all. Now, listen, what a storyline. You know, Andy Reid against, his former Eagles team and the Kelsey brothers. How do you see these two teams matching up on Super Bowl Sunday? Well,
they're both, outstanding offensive football teams. If you take the numbers and look at them in the passing game, of course, Kansas City dominates. In the running game, the Eagles dominate. Defensively, the Philadelphia Eagles are a better football team. They have been, but maybe my materials accumulate over 17 games. What's happened with the Chiefs over the last few games in playing better may be a better profile of what they really will be when you play on Sunday, okay, in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so Coach, I know what your response is going to be, but I got to ask the question.
I've got one organized.
Who do you think is going to win Super Bowl 57? And give me a score that you predict.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say that I'm going to root for both teams to win and then feel real bad for the team that loses, okay? That's my approach. And I'm a Republican Democrat with that political statement, okay? But I really feel that way. I'm going to root for both teams to play very, very well and then feel real bad for the team that didn't get it done. Because, it takes the same thing to get to a Super Bowl and lose as it does to get there and win. And people tend to write you off as a poor team in losing. Boy, I'll tell you, my Eagle football team was a fine football team. We were number 1 in defense, giving up 13.9 points a game, okay? Now, granted, in those days, they didn't have to defense all the things you defense today, but we're the number 1 defense and those numbers would put us number 1 defense today. Our offense was number 6 in the NFL at that time. Those numbers right now would put us number 15 in the NFL. We're a good team, but we didn't win. So people tend to write you off right away. That's our culture. We play to win. That's all. And when you lose, you're a loser. But when you lose a Super Bowl, you've done everything that winning team did to get there. It just wasn't your day. Unlike Major League Baseball, best of 7, baby. NBA, best of 7. No, NFL, best of 1.
Got you, Coach. Hey, listen, it's always an honor to be with you, man. Thank you for your time.
I would have loved to coach you, buddy. You would have made me a lot better football coach.
Well, I blew it. I had an opportunity and decided to retire, but that's another story for another day, my friend.
Yeah, you bet. Take care.
All righty. After this break, my in-house betting expert, Brad Feinberg, will join me to break down this Chiefs and Eagles matchup. Special thanks to our show sponsor, Bridgeview Partners. Bridgeview Partners specialize in IT service management and helping businesses separate from their competition. Go to bridgeviewpartners.com and let them know that Seth Joyner sent you.
This car is a steal. Hey, Seth, let's do a deal and I'll throw in this great gift.
Is that the way you used to buy a car? Forget about it. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Davis Honda has over 300 pre-owned vehicles right now. Come see why Davis Honda won Best of Burlington 6 years in a row.
I'm Seth Joyner, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Seth, Caitlin, you forgot your great gift.
For over 20 years now, strategic sports marketing has been a leader in the sports industry. With deep relationship among athletes and companies of all sizes, SSM knows what it takes to build effective partnerships. They've been helping me for 15 years now. From speaking engagements and endorsement deals to special guest appearances and much more, no budget is considered too small. And check out SSM's sister company at sportsvaultshop.com, where you'll find everything for your gift-giving needs. Keep an eye out for upcoming coupon codes exclusive to the Seth Joyner Show.
Mandrakia Law. Attorneys you can trust, we get results. When you need an attorney, you need an experienced trial lawyer who will never settle for less, who's not afraid to try your case, will fight for you and keep you informed. Charles Mandrakia and the team at Mandrakia Law have decades of experience. They are ethical but aggressive. Personal injury, DUI or DWI, commercial or civil litigation, criminal defense, experience matters. Visit the website mmattorneys.com and remember the name, Mandrakia Law. Attorneys you can trust, we get results. Bridgeview Partners Strategic IT Consulting and Services, saving clients money and time by optimizing enterprise systems for over 10 years now. If you're an IT professional, what are you waiting for? Contact the very experienced team at Bridgeview Partners. These guys have an awesome reputation in the Philadelphia market for their thought leadership, specializing in infrastructure optimization and IT service management for healthcare, retail, finance organizations, and many others. Go to bridgeviewpartners.com to learn more, and go Eagles! Birds fans, if you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and reliable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference and work harder for you. With financial centers strategically located to serve the greater Philadelphia area, we are ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Visit midpennbank.com or call the number on your screen. Mid-Penn Bank, the right bank for you. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
Welcome back. I know we're a little more than a week and a half away, but Brad Feinberg is here to join us to talk about the Eagles and the Chiefs' victory to get into Glendale. Brad, how you doing?
Outstanding, Seth. Should be a great game. I'm super excited for it.
All right, so talk to me, man. What did you think about how the Eagles beat the 49ers and the manner in which the Chiefs got back to the dance?
I think Jalen Hurts is not right. That is really my gut instinct. I think he's more hurt than people are saying, at least in terms of his production, is nowhere near what it was early in the year. But again, their defense did what they had to do and they got the win. Kansas City, look, Mahomes clearly hobbled. They lost 3 wide receivers, Seth. No excuse for Cincinnati losing that game, none at all. Kansas City clearly a hobbled team, clearly not at full strength. But again, Mahomes does what Mahomes does. They got bailed out on that 4th down late hit call that put them in a field goal range. Tough game, could have gone either way, and Kansas City won. I thought Kansas City would win by about a field goal. I thought the Eagles would win by about a touchdown, but the Eagles game to me, Seth, as I said, was a throwaway game.
Well, Brad, I don't look at it as a throwaway game for 2 reasons. I believe that the San Francisco 49ers, that defense was supposed to pretty much shut down the Eagles' offense. They put up 31 on them, and I get it. You couldn't get anything done on the offensive side of the board. But at the other end of the spectrum, when you're the #1 ranked defense in the National Football League and you walk in with that kind of swagger and you get 31 hung on you, that's a big deal. Just transitioning, most people believe the narrative that you got to throw the ball. The Eagles are killing that sacred cow right now before our very eyes, exactly what you're talking about. Your thoughts. They're averaging 208 yards per game over the last 2 games on the ground. They're averaging 3.5 touchdowns per game, and they're averaging, 44 runs per game. And people think you can't win this way.
I am surprised they've been able to have the success they've been able to have. But I guess when you have the best offensive line in football, which they universally are considered to have, they have the mobile quarterback in Jalen Hurts, and they have really, listen, Gainwell's a better player than I thought. He runs hard, he's tough. Obviously, Sanders is really good. They're able to do it. Now, this will be an interesting game against Kansas City. I personally think they're going to throw the ball more than they run the ball, because I do think Kansas City is going to put pressure on them and be able to score some points that San Francisco wasn't because of San Francisco's inability to throw the ball, Seth. That's just my personal opinion.
All right, so can the Eagles' defense maintain this level of play against Patrick Mahomes. I mean, they are just tearing it up right now.
I actually think Philadelphia will be able to. I think Kansas City's offensive line is overrated. They're considered to be great. I don't think they're great at all. I think they're maybe average, and I think Philadelphia will put pressure on Mahomes, especially a non-mobile Mahomes. Again, I think Philadelphia will hold this team to 24 or less points, which again, for a team that probably averages up close to 30, that's saying something pretty good. Again, Seth, I do think Philadelphia is going to win this game. The line actually opened at a pick, Seth. It's now up to 2. I think it'll settle probably closer to 2.5 if Kansas City's receivers are not healthy. Now, if we hear that Juju's back and Tony's back and all these guys are back, these receivers are injured for them, I think it may go back down to a pick or maybe Philadelphia by 1. But I do think Philadelphia has been the best team in football all year, Seth. I think they will win this game.
All right, my friend, on to, why the view is tuned in tonight. Give me your top prop bets for the Super Bowl and your early predictions.
Okay, so Seth, prediction of the game, again, I think Philadelphia wins the game. I really do. I think they win the game probably by about a touchdown or so. Lean to the over as well. Seth, the over-under is around 49.5 right now or something like that, teetering around 50, 49.5, because I do think both teams are going to score. I do. In terms of props, I like Dallas Goedert, Seth, over 45.5 yards. I look at him in his last 21 games, Seth. He's averaging 61 yards a game. 61, going over 2/3 of the games. And a game where, again, I personally think they're going to have to pass. Give me that 15 yards less than what his total has been the last 21. I like Goddard's over. I'm going to take 2 Kansas City props here. I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes to throw over 1.5 touchdowns. Now, the juice on this, Seth, was high. I had to lay about 2-1. But here's the thing. When I'm laying 2-1 on something that's 22-5, it's last 27, I'm more than willing to do that because those 5 losses times it by 2 becomes 10. That's still a 12-unit profit, 22-10. So to me, I really think Mahomes will throw 2 touchdowns. And then last, I'm going to take Travis Kelce. Look, over 76.5 yards. Seth, he's gone over this 14 of his last 22 games. We see Kansas City banged up injury-wise wide receiver. Travis Kelce, we saw the game last week. They're missing all their receivers. Everyone is out, right? How is, can't someone just say, let's just put 2 guys on this guy? And I'm not trying to be funny. This is something I've always wondered is watching the game. Is it not as simple as that? But when you know there's only one player who can hurt you, how do you still let that player hurt you?
To be honest with you, I asked the same thing about Cooper Kupp last year in the Super Bowl. It's the same situation.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have it somewhere in your playbook. You've got to have something in there that allows you to take that guy away, whether you got to put 2 or 3 guys on him and tell everybody else to man up across the board. Brad, listen, man, I appreciate it. Hey, win or lose, I should say, we'll be right back here next week, the week after, to tie a bow on this magical season. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Seth. You're the best. I appreciate it.
All right, coming up, my final thoughts and predictions for Super Bowl 57. This segment is sponsored by Davis Honda. I drive a Davis Honda, and you should too.
Birds fans, if you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and reliable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference and work harder for you. With financial centers strategically located to serve the greater Philadelphia area, we are ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Visit midpennbank.com or call the number on your screen. Mid-Penn Bank, the right bank for you. Member FDIC. Go Eagles! Bridgeview Partners Strategic IT Consulting and Services, saving clients money and time by optimizing enterprise systems for over 10 years now. If you're an IT professional, what are you waiting for? Contact a very experienced team at Bridgeview Partners. These guys have an awesome reputation in the Philadelphia market for their thought leadership, specializing in infrastructure optimization and IT service management for healthcare, retail, finance organizations, and many others. Go to bridgeviewpartners.com to learn more, and go Eagles! Mandrakia Law. Attorneys you can trust, we get results. When you need an attorney, you need an experienced trial lawyer who will never settle for less, who's not afraid to try your case, will fight for you and keep you informed. Charles Mandrakia and the team at Mandrakia Law have decades of experience. They are ethical but aggressive. Personal injury, DUI or DWI, commercial or civil litigation, criminal defense, experience matters. Visit the website mmattorneys.com and remember the name, Mandrakia Law. Attorneys you can trust, we get results.
Former Eagles linebacker Seth Joyner here to tell you about Artie Clear Kitchens, Baths, Drywall, and Roofing. For kitchens and bathrooms, roofing, windows, and other home improvement needs, call my friend Artie Clear. Get 100% no money down financing with payments as low as $59 per month. The first 59 calls will also receive a $400 discount on their first order. And if you're a senior citizen, double. Look for Artie's ad in the Metro. Call today, Artie Clear, kitchens, baths, drywall, and roofing.
This car is a steal. Hey, Seth, let's do a deal and I'll throw in this great gift. Hoi!
Is that the way you used to buy a car? Forget about it. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Davis Honda has over 300 pre-owned vehicles right now. Come see why Davis Honda won Best of Burlington 6 years in a row.
I'm Seth Joyner, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Seth, Caitlin, you forgot your great gift.
Welcome back. 2 weeks will seem like an eternity. The Philadelphia Eagles have accomplished what very few others than themselves believed was doable: a trip to the Super Bowl. We couldn't have imagined that Jalen Hurts could evolve into the player that he's become in just one calendar year. Howie has worked his magic once again, assembling an all-star roster. And let us not forget to give Nick Sirianni props for leading and standing at the helm of this football team, with Shane Steichen guiding the offense to the third-ranked offense in the National Football League this year. For advocating for John, many, including myself, at times wanted to frankly run him out of town, as he guided them to the second-ranked defense in the National Football League. For sticking with Michael Clay, when all except Jake Elliott was far less than special on special teams. This 2022 Eagles team stand at the precipice of another championship, a Lombardi Trophy, and a frenzied parade and celebration. My keys to the game: offensively, this team just needs to remain true to who they are and what got them here. This O-line has dominated all season. Make the Chiefs' defense prove that they can stop this rushing attack. You also want to control and minimize the possessions in this game. Any more than 9 possessions, in my opinion, is too many opportunities for Patrick Mahomes in that offense. Next, Travis Kelce. He'd never see a single coverage all day long if I was the one calling the plays. I put an inside trail guy on him, underneath him all day long with a guy over top, making sure that he doesn't catch anything. Lastly, Patrick Mahomes doesn't really want to run unless necessary. Keep him in the pocket. Be disciplined in your rush lanes. He is most dangerous when he's out of the pocket, when he's improvising. And believe it or not, make him pass from the pocket. I believe from top to bottom, this Eagles football team has the better roster, but they're going to have to go out and prove it one more time. My prediction for the game: the Chiefs 26, the Eagles 32. Tune in next week as we draw closer to February 12th, the Super Bowl 57. Have a great week and good evening, Philadelphia.